Do-do-do-do, it's Camdork.
Hello everyone, this is Camdork, and welcome to episode number 50 of Season 2 of my Buildcraft, where we play Minecraft with the mods Buildcraft, Thermal Expansion, and Forestry. Welcome guys to a great episode. It is number 50. Woo, yeah. All right, we've gone 50 episodes in this season. It's a good time to celebrate, so that's what I'm doing. We're celebrating. But we're standing in a field of flowers here, and you'll notice right off the bat that this wasn't here last episode. No, last time we built this wall, but I built up this into a nice looking tower. I think it's pretty cool. And you'll notice that there also is two sort of gaping holes on the sides of the tower. Well, they are there for a reason of one of the things we're going to be doing in this episode, which is to fill those holes with something pretty cool. But what I am going to do first is to do what I promised last episode, which is to talk about robots. And we're going to be playing and messing around with them because if I go to my main map... Oh, by the way, this is really cool, isn't it? This is exactly what I was envisioning. Pretty sweet. Anyways, yeah, we still haven't finished this whatsoever, but it's getting there. My goodness, it is. So we're going to go to our map and talk a little bit about what is going on. So here is, I kind of wondered, does this thing update when you, doesn't look like it does. It doesn't look like it updates as you build things out. That's kind of unfortunate. Wait, does it? I can't really tell. I don't know. Anyways, but over kind of, we're basically right here. Yeah, we're basically right here. No, it doesn't update. So the robots are going to be kind of, so this is the forest base, which is actually kind of like Camdork Gardens. Over here, there's a pyramid. This is the main base, and kind of over here, across from our quarry, is some oil deposits, and we're going to be using those to sort of, you know, pump some oil and get some fuel. But in this area, I want to build kind of a sub-base, which is going to be the robot base, and we're going to be using robots in that base for many, many functions. There's the quarry. So it's kind of right there. So we're going to have to be building a way to get there through the minecart network. But first thing is first, let's talk a little bit about Buildcraft robots, how they work, and then I need to figure that out before we're actually going to figure out how to use them in the world. So let's go ahead into a creative world and go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go play with robots. Let's talk about robots. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that I've just started learning how to use robots, so there are some things that I still need to learn. The second thing is that robots are still relatively new and recent in Buildcraft, so there might be some bugs. So some of the things I might be finding here are bugs. It's entirely possible, or it's just my ineptitude and I cannot use... I just don't know how to use them. So we're going to discover together, but I will share with you right now in this short segment a little bit about what I know about robots, and that is what they are, how to make them, and general principles about how to make them work, and what I've found. So, let's begin. Robots, what are they? Well, they are introduced, and they were introduced, and I believe it was 6.1 version of Buildcraft when they were introduced. Now I am using 6.4.1. And Buildcraft's here, robots, well, here they are. There are many different varieties. They're in duplicate here because they do require power. So in creative, you have the option of choosing either the one that's powered or the one that's completely, you know, empty of power. So anyways, they come in different varieties. And each variety or each type of robot does a specific singular function. And I say that singular function because, for example, if you want to cut down trees and grab the wood, you need a robot to cut down trees, namely the lumberjack, and a robot to pick up the wood that falls, which is the picker. So probably the most useful of these robots is the picker, which is responsible for picking items that fall off of the ground and putting them into chests. So we'll be doing something with the picker today, but just to briefly go over some of the other ones, at least for what they do. Lumberjack cuts down trees. Planter can plant things like saplings. Butcher kills friendly mobs, presumably, in order to get like meat and stuff. It does not pick up the meat, though. Shovelman dig. Knights can defend against hostile mobs. Leaf cutters can cut leaves off trees. Crafter robots are responsible for helping you craft things automatically. Harvesters can harvest things. Stripes robots can do a few things, such as kind of use items and whatnot, like throwing eggs and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's kind of interesting things to play around with stripes. I still need to play around with these guys quite a lot before I really figure out how to use them. Carrier robots can transfer items, move them back and forth. Picker robots, like I said, pick things up off the ground. Tanks are responsible for moving fluids around. Pump robots move, or at least pump liquids from a source into a tank. And builder robots can help with building things. Farmer robots can farm your stuff like wheat and such. Delivery robots are something of a smart carrier robot. That's kind of the best way to think about them. Miner robots are able to mine ores, and bomber robots can bomb a specific area of land, which is pretty cool. We might actually mess around with the bomber robot in just a minute. But anyway, so these are the robots. They need power, like I said, but first we got to know how to make them. So in order to make them, you need 3 items in Buildcraft, or you just go in creative and you pick them. But if you're not in creative, you need 3 different things. You need a lot of power, and you need items. So the 3 machines you need are an assembly table. This thing in the middle, which was introduced in Buildcraft 6.4, it's called a programming table, and an integration table. The general principle is you make a blank robot with the help of an assembly table, and then you use the programming table to program a redstone board, and then you put it all together in the integration table to make your specific type of robot. So first of all, you make a robot, and you need a special item to do that, and that is this redstone crystal. You can make it by taking a block of redstone and throwing it in an assembly table. Once you have it, you can use that to make your robot, your blank robot, just in a crafting table. You need diamond chipsets, and iron as well, which diamond chipsets, in case you were forgetting, you just need a piece of diamond and redstone. So these are kind of expensive to make, but it is kind of up on the advanced tree of the Buildcraft technology tree. Secondly, we also need to make a redstone board and program it. Now, in order to make the redstone board, you need to take a piece of redstone and surround it with paper. And there you go, redstone board. Whoops, let's grab it back. All right, and then you program the board by throwing it into one of these programming tables, which gives you the option of all the different types available. I said we're going to mess around with pickers, so let's go ahead and select that one. So it starts doing its thing eventually. Come on, it should start doing its thing. There it goes, okay. Just had to wait a while, I guess, it's weird. Alright, so it makes a redstone board. Probably put it right in here. No, okay, there it is. We take the picker, we put it in this integration table along with the blank robot, and that will start to make a picker robot for us. Now we already have some here. Yeah, I've been messing around a little bit, but we'll use the blank one. And so now the robot has to find a home, and robots live not just anywhere in the world. I can't just place them or throw them down and say, go ahead, do it. Do your stuff. Doesn't work. Robots need a place to hide, or a place to call home, and that is called the docking station. So this is where robots can sit. However, you can't just place them on a docking station, at least anymore. That's just on any old pipe. And by the way, you can place these docking stations on any type of pipe. But the robots need to have a home on a kinesis pipe. And so I have set up 2 docking stations here. You can control them with gates. Here I use emerald gates, which gives you the option. How emerald gates are different than other gates, you'll see right away. They give you the option of multiple triggers, or triggers with multiple parameters, as well as events that have multiple parameters as well. So in this case, we have one of the special events that you get with a gate, which is the go to station. What it tells the robot to is that the robot that lives here, it needs to go back home. So right now it's set to have, if the blue signal is off, tell the robot to go home, or if the robot is already there, what that means is stay there. So we'll put it right here. The robot will just sit there, and you'll notice he starts getting power, because they need power. It'll take just a moment before he's actually full. And then we can have him start to go to work. Now, in order to go to work, though, he needs something to pick up. So, actually, let me go ahead and... what I've noticed is that there's this kind of weird thing. I don't know if it's a bug or something, but I need to reload my world before the robot actually starts to work. But I'm not entirely sure as to why. Now, before this picker gets to work, I need to have a place for him. He's just going to pick up items, but then he doesn't know where to put them. So you need to have a place for the robot to put the items. In this case, we want to put them in maybe this large chest. And we put docking stations next to it to indicate the robot should interact with the chest. And the gate indicates how the robot interacts. So I have it set so that if there's space in the inventory, the robot can, or the chest can accept items from this docking station. And you notice that this isn't an item pipe, doesn't need to be. It can just be a normal structural pipe next to this chest. And it still is able to put items into the chest. And this is a picture of a robot essentially giving items into the chest. Now there's various different things we can do. These are both set the same way. So there you go. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if this actually works. So this is which signal? The blue pipe signal, so that's this guy. So if we turn it off, that means he should start to work. And let's go ahead and drop some pumpkins on the ground and see if he actually starts to work. So the answer is no. In short, this robot won't do anything until I reload the world, which is kind of weird. I don't know if that's a bug. It might be, or it just might be I'm doing something wrong. But let's go ahead and reload the world, and I'll be right back. Okay, the world is reloaded. We have the pumpkins on the ground. Everything is all set, so let's go ahead and start this robot. Now he starts moving. Okay, so now the robot is in operation. And it sees that there's pumpkins on the ground, goes ahead and grabs those pumpkins, and then from here should realize that there is place to put the pumpkins here, but does not, which is kind of odd. Don't know why, it just sort of doesn't really want to work. We don't really have the full feature of the robot set to work now. So let's go ahead and remove that robot, and the way we can do it is we can just actually right-click on his docking station, and the robot goes away, the items fall back on the ground. So let's go ahead and put another robot there, and this time I'm going to just pick a robot that is fully powered, so we can just see him working right away. So let's go ahead, and it should still be set to, yeah, go to station if it's off. Okay, so he's going to station. And now the robot's set to work. So I turn it on again. And there the robot goes. He's going to pick up some items. And this time, still doesn't do anything. He doesn't go to these stations yet, which is weird. Alright, let's kind of do some experiments here again. Once again, got rid of the robot. Oops. Let's throw the items down. Now, there's another way we can set robots to work. And that is we can designate a place in which they will work. And we can do that with something called a zone planner. That's this little block right here. It's made by, well, it's made by this. This is the recipe for it. You need an empty map and some iron and diamond gears. So it's kind of expensive, but yeah, what it does is it basically, when you plop it into the world, it gives you a map like this. It's hard to tell where you are, but you're at the center. So we're right here. That's where the zone planner is. This is where the kinesis pipe thing was. So anyways, we want the robot to pick up items right in this area. In order to sort of designate that area, we select a brush. And yep, there you go. Actually, an area is already selected for us, this pink area, which we can remove pieces of it or the whole thing. And we can add back some pieces. Here we go. There you go. So that's a fine area. It includes basically everything we could possibly want. Yeah, it includes everything over here. It includes that chest and everything. So let's go ahead and designate that specific place with a map. You use a map location. This is, I think it's dandelion yellow surrounded by paper, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to take this map location and now use this with the emerald gate as well, but this time, instead of the provides fluid, or I'm sorry, instead of provides fluid, instead of telling the go to station function, what we're going to do is use this called work in area, and we're going to designate the robot to work in that area specifically. So when this gets a red signal, it is going to tell the robot to work in that area. So we have our fully powered robot. We're just going to put it in place. Turn this blue pipe wire off, and then when I turn this on, he should start to get to work. And this time I expect him to drop off the items into the chest. So let's go ahead. These items are within the scope of the work. There it goes. Okay, so you notice that the docking station turns yellow when it is designating a robot to go there. And then the robot empties all the items into the chest, and there you go. So if I drop some more items around here, this should be some work for the robot to do. But kind of notice that he doesn't really do much. He doesn't right away do anything, and I'm really confused as to why that is. We don't need this power anymore, by the way. It's really an odd thing. So if I cycle this, now the robot, he got a command to go home, so that's where in fact he's going. He's going to charge up again, and now get back to work. So it's kind of a weird situation. I don't know some of the ins and outs of robots, but that's kind of how you get them to work. And now let's do some fun things like actually use robots to do more than just, hey, look, this is what they can do. Let's kind of use that bomber robot. So let's go ahead and try to use the bomber robot. So in order to do that, we need a few special things. So we're going to take this station, and we're going to say this one is now set to provide items. And what it's going to say, what we're going to do is select the type of items it can provide. So bomber robots need, well, they need TNT. So where's that? It's not a foodstuff. Combat. Where is TNT anyways? It's got to be in here somewhere. Am I just missing it? Not decoration. There is some TNT. There, perfect. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna throw some TNT in here. Let me. And so we're gonna say provides items, provides TNT. So great. And then we're gonna hook this up to the blue gate. The bomber though needs to be designated to go in a specific area. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just mark out an area. We're gonna mark out right over here. Maybe, yeah, let's mark out over here as the area. So we can mark it out with the zone planner, or we can actually just mark it out with landmarks. So that's what we're going to be doing here, and I think I should just be able to do it in a square. So I want him to bomb this square. How we can designate this as the place, we're just going to destroy these things, is we can right-click on this, and we now see that it actually is designating a map location area in X, Y, and Z coordinates. Okay, so this should be what we do. We're going to do the exact same thing we did to the other gate, except this time it's with the blue pipe wire. So in this case, it's going to be work in area. It's going to work in here. And this is going to be the case if we have a blue pipe signal. And then we're going to select that bomber robot. Okay, bomber robot with the power. We don't want to wait for him to power up. And yeah, we're going to tell everybody to go back home. Okay, so bomber robot, do your bombing now. Okay, so he detects that there is some TNT to pick up. He picks up TNT. Come on, buddy. Okay, he's picking it all up. Now he actually picks up a lot of the TNT and should go to work in this area. Come on, dude. You can do it. It could be the case where we actually need to designate down as well. Let's go ahead and try this with the zone planner instead. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. We'll do this once more. Put the TNT back. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this with the zone planner now. So we're going to designate in this green color, we're going to designate that he needs to bomb right over here. Just bomb this area. So this is going to be where we designate, and I want to, you can actually rewrite these things. So it's actually going to write right over our indicated area. Turns it into a squiggly line now, and doesn't have any indication as to what it is, but yeah, that's what it is. So let's go ahead and change this map location to that, and once again place our bomber robot. So he's going to go ahead and do his thing. So he's going to pick up some items and then should head over to there in order to bomb. So items are being picked up. He's got them. And I have no idea why he's not... Oh, there he goes. Okay. Yeah, so it must be the case where we actually have to select an area that's either up or down from there. So we probably have to select a three-dimensional area. So let's go ahead and follow our bomber robot to the designated area, which it's around here somewhere, and he should start bombing any moment once he reaches there. So anyways, this is a little bit about robots and how they go. So it looks like he's going up to start his bombing run. He'll actually get rid of... He's got a stack of TNT. There he goes. Nice. That's pretty cool. This guy's fun. This guy's pretty fun to use. This is a little bit about robots and what they do. They are, as you see, really fun to use. Really cool. We can actually bomb and then use miner robots to actually mine the ore that we uncover, which is kind of fun. But it also destroys a bunch, doesn't it? That's okay. But there you go. There you have it. The robots are like this. So this is as far as I have really gotten with robots. I decided to sort of show you guys a little bit about them and think about what we can do. We can make some automated farms with robots from the get-go. We can use them to pump oil. We can use them to bomb. We can use them to do a lot of fun things, to defend our base, to harvest our crops, to get us some meat and food, and do all sorts of fun things. So we'll be doing that in the robot base area. And in the meantime, I'll be messing around a little bit more with these robots, seeing how they function and seeing if I can work out some of the quirks and the kinks of them. But there you have it. So let's go ahead back to the survival world and do a few more things, and then we'll close out the episode in this very special episode number 50. So see you guys in just a second. Well, that was fun. We got to play around with robots, and you all got to see how completely inept I am at using them, at least at the moment. So I'll be working around with them a little bit more, and for now, you guys can see what we're going to be doing is working on the base a little bit. And now what I've noticed is that the base is lacking, I don't know, a certain Chemdork character. It's coming along really nicely, and it's looking a lot better. As you see, I just added sort of like kind of the windows and a background here. And we're going to be messing around up here to sort of giving this a little bit of a, let's call it personalization. It's lacking a little bit of something that, you know, mobs might not know exactly who lives here, and they need to know exactly who lives here. So I think it's important that we identify this as my base. Now let's see. I think I want to put it here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, so we need to identify this as Chemdork's base. It doesn't just belong to any old person. It's my base. All right, there we go. And they better know that. All right, so let's see. We got the blue, and if you guys can think, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm doing right now, that's pretty obvious. Because what else would I be doing but personalizing this to a crazy extent? Now, so these are 3x3 letters, guys. So in case you didn't know, they're 3x3 letters, and we're gonna let all the mobs know that come around here exactly who lives here. It's me. It's Chemdork. Yeah, so I'm going to do that to the other sides. I'll be right back. Now this place really feels like home. So we have the Chemdork insignia on all sides of the tower now, and it looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. I am very proud of this. It's just looking great. Anyway, that'll pretty much do it for this episode. I do have one more thing planned, however, guys, because this is something of a landmark episode. It's number 50 in Season 2. I decided to do something a little bit special. So just bear with me. I'll be right back, and we'll do something pretty cool. All right. Thanks, guys. The special thing that I decided to do at the end of this episode is, well, appear. Hey, guys. It's me, it's Chemdork. For some of you, this is the first time you're seeing me, in which case, congratulations, now you can match the face with the voice. It's a special moment for you, so I'll just let you sort of bask there. Enjoy it. But anyways, the purpose that I'm here is not just to show you my face, it's actually to answer some questions. And these are the common questions that I get asked a lot in either the messages or comments. I will still have these questions asked of me, I know, and I'll still be responding to them, and that's fine. But I decided to answer them maybe a little more complete fashion here than I could in either the comments or the messages section. First, I'll start with the easy questions, which is very basic questions that I get asked, which is what's my hardware and software. So the hardware that I'm using, it's the CPU is an AMD Phenom 2 4-core 2.8 gigahertz processor. It gets the job done, but it's nothing special, and it's a few years old. My whole system is a few years old by this point. The video card I'm using is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 550 Ti. It is, again, not too bad, and pretty good card. I have 12 gigabytes of RAM, Windows 7, 64-bit, and I am using, this is a Logitech G35 headset. I have a Logitech G110 keyboard. This right here that you're seeing me on is a Logitech C920. And this is what I use. It's a Logitech G500 mouse. Really cool. I like it. So I'm a Logitech guy. I always find it works pretty well. And in terms of the recording software, I record using Fraps. I have tried OBS before as well. For Minecraft, I find it's a bit too slow, but it is free. But it's quite slow for me in Minecraft. Fraps doesn't really get me any slowdown, and the video files you get are excellent quality. The difference is that Fraps doesn't really encode. It just has raw video, so they're really big videos, but they're raw footage. OBS actually encodes, so it's a little slower, it's a little more resource intensive, especially for your CPU, which, as you remember, is kind of the weakest link for my hardware. So, on the back end of that, though, I do the editing and encoding on Adobe Premiere Elements 11. So, there you have it, the easy questions. Now for some more in-depth questions about the world. Joey Rabiel, he asked, can I get a map download? Yes, you can, Joey. You can get a map download. In fact, this is the only way to really reliably get the world to you. Now, I do provide the seed to the world in the description for this video, but note that it was made using, the world was generated using Minecraft 1.4.7, and you will get a different world if you use the current version of Minecraft. So you have to go back a few versions of Minecraft and Buildcraft in order to get the same world, and even then, you're going to have to deal with the troubles that I had in upgrading, which was to update all the configuration files and whatnot. And this is awful garbage. So what I'm going to do for you guys is provide a world download where I also provide the configuration files, just to make sure your block IDs are the same as mine. Because if you use the default, it's going to be all screwy and corrupted. It may not even load. I think it probably would just crash to desktop. So I'll provide all of that and hopefully some documentation on how you can actually get it to run, and it's up to you from there. So, another question, mods. Now, surrounding mods, I get a lot. Can you add some more mods? Have you looked at things like Railcraft? Yes, Railcraft I have. It looks pretty cool. I've seen other mods here, Redstone Power, whatever, Applied Energetics, Buildcraft add-ons, various other mods that are out there. In order to understand the answer to my question, to this question, you need to understand the philosophy that I have for mods in general in Minecraft. And that is, what I find fun about Minecraft is complexity from simplicity. And this is embodied in my idea of that I like to take the simple tools that you're given in Minecraft and make something a little more complex from them. Thinking about how to use those tools in a way that can create a really complex system is extremely fun for me when I think about it, implement it, and then have it work. So I did this in Season 1 of my Buildcraft, where we built a automated tree farm using only Buildcraft things. It was the simple Buildcraft tools that you were provided allow you to get a fully automated tree farm, which was awesome. I think that was really cool. And in this season, we're doing kind of the same thing with the power plant, which is great. I think I might want to do the same thing with the current version of Buildcraft as well, not using robots, but maybe using robots as well. So we'll see. But simplicity or complexity from simplicity is not really possible when you add mods and mods and mods and mods, because what you do is you just make the complex even simpler, so that it's really difficult to get something that is extremely satisfying from that for me. Now again, that's just a personal preference, but that is my philosophy with mods, and in fact, in next season, I'm actually leaning toward, at this point, if I had to start another season, at this point, I probably would just use Buildcraft once again. Only Buildcraft, because of that reason. Complexity from simplicity. So hopefully that kind of answers things. The other question that I get asked a lot is about a server. Now this is actually pretty exciting because I would love to be a part of a server. I can't run one. I don't have the time, to spend on sort of maintaining the server in its capabilities. So as much as I kind of want to, I would only be able to pop on a few times. Now, with that being said, I am totally all about one of you, a few of you, and getting together, deciding that you want to start a server. Call it the ChemDork server. Go for it. I don't care. Make it Buildcraft. Make it Feed the Beast. It doesn't really matter. Start it up. Have a lot of you there in the comments that are joining the server. And then you know what? If a lot of people join up, I will definitely make an appearance every once in a while. But I can only guarantee that. I can't guarantee very often. Who knows? You never know what might happen. So by all means, go for it. Go for it, and let me know how it's going, and that'd be great. And that's actually related to the final question that I'm going to answer, which is, you need to do more vids. Thank you, Alice Craft. You're telling me this very obviously. And Pilot Dork says, Pilot Dork 123 says, you should upload more often. I like your series. Well, Pilot Dork 123, I like your name. I love it. But yes, I would love to do more videos more often. I try to upload at least every 2 weeks if I can. I don't have a schedule, and I have to apologize for this, but life for me doesn't really have a very consistent schedule. With a kid, wife, dogs, house things, work things, travel for work, I don't have really the time that is consistently available to dedicate to Minecraft. And with Minecraft, and specifically the My Buildcraft series, I pride myself in doing a quality show. What that means, though, is that I have to put in time before the show actually is recorded to think about what I'm going to do in a coherent fashion. And then usually there's some preparation time after I think about it. I usually have to prepare the world to start to record. Then I do some recording, sometimes some preparing for the next segments in between. And then I have to edit, encode, and do the rest. And that process takes actually quite a lot of time for an episode where you dedicate to quality. Unless things change, I will try to do it every 2 weeks, but I try to do every week if I can, but I can only consistently do it every 2 weeks. And if you've actually seen, if you kind of total up the number of videos I've put out in the My Buildcraft series over the course of the time period, it's been about once every 2 weeks. And so I hope to keep up that momentum, and can't wait until the next video. So, with that, those are the questions I'm asking. Those are questions I was answering. If you guys want to see more of this sort of answering questions time, feel free to drop a message in the comments section. It'll be at the end of videos, so you can always tune out and say, "It's ChemDork's face again. Who cares?" But whatever. In the next video, though, we're going to be doing something completely different. We're starting on another project that I hope we might actually be able to complete in that next episode. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next episode, and bye-bye. See ya.